you go into Lowe's or Home Depot today, you're going to see a lot of these new style weed eaters, yard tools, everything, which is battery powered. There's no motor, no engine on this. It's all driven by one battery. This video I'm going over these two different weed eaters that I've been using around the house. I've had this one for a lot longer. This one's newer, but they're both from the Craftsman line of their V20 series. They have probably 3 or 4 different types of weed eaters right now. This has been my favorite one, but they're both actually pretty good. So I'll go over some of the good and the bad about these, how I got used to them and everything, how well they work. And I'm also going to test them on this patch of grass right here, which is pretty thick. You can see how well they work. The best thing about both of these is that they're easy. It's a lot easier than having a gas-powered weed eater. Obviously, they're limited by the range that you got on your battery, size of battery. You can get ones that are bigger, they're twice this size or even 3 times this size, and they'll last you for a pretty long time. Right now, I can cut the entire yard, pull the battery off of that, stick it on here, weed eat the entire yard, take it off and put it on a blower, and then blow off the driveway. So the batteries do pretty well. Both of these are also really easy to start. Once the battery's clicked in like that, all you got to do is push the safety button and then pull the trigger. Some other features on this one, I haven't been able to find this one much, but I do like this one better. It's got the high and low. I usually just leave it in high. For the string extension, you just push this as it's running and it pops out more string, so that's pretty easy. The handle right here is adjustable. Move it up and down however you're comfortable with it, and it also, the height of the entire thing is retractable, so when you store it, you can just store it just like this, and it's a lot smaller. Or if you're a shorter person, you can do that and handle it a little bit easier. I just keep it extended out. It's got a 13-inch cutting radius, and you can also turn it so it sits on its side like this, and you can do edging with it. A couple things I don't like about it. One is it's only a single wire coming out. It's kind of weird. It still works really well, but I've never used that before. Another thing is that you can't really adjust the size of this line that's coming out. I think this is 0.08. Add to that, this is what it looks like when you add line. They come in these little pre-wound spools, so you can't just go buy your own line and put it in. Maybe you could if you know how to rewind one of these, but it comes like this. You just take the cap off and you pop a new one of these in place of that one and put the line out. So it's really easy to switch these out, but I don't like that you can't choose a different type of line to come out of these. So this one is restricted to 0.08. This one right here is restricted to the 0.065. So it's the same type of system. It's an even smaller line that comes out of it. So I would say this it's great for somebody who's never used a weed eater and needs something really easy, needs something to learn on. It's awesome. Works really well. It's super easy to change a line out, and it's super easy to keep it out. But you don't have any choice in what you're putting in here. You got to buy these pre-wound things unless someone has a fix for that. This one here does have the guard that you can stick out to use for edging. This one has a different system, but something similar. It's just a wheel that you can kind of roll on the ground. It's all plastic. Everything on here is plastic. So more on this one. It's a lot shorter. It's not adjustable. It's stuck like that. This is kind of your other handle right here where you hold on to it. There's no adjustment on speed or anything, but it does have the safety and the trigger pull still. It's super light. I mean, this thing is super light. So it's really easy to use. The head still spins around so that you can do edging with it. And this one's got a 10-inch cutting radius on it. Overall, with both of these, I am pleased with it. This one feels kind of cheap. It's smaller, but if that's your deal, you know, this is great. I got this one for $100, and then they threw in a free circular saw. It was worth like $80 with it. So that was kind of nice. Highly recommended for a beginner, someone who's just learning or who needs something easy. but I would not recommend for really big yards or yards where you need a lot of power to get through if you got really tall stuff. This is just regular kind of yard maintenance, like this yard here. If you're new to the yard maintenance world and you're trying to make a decision on if you're going to get battery or gas powered, with battery, you know, you just plug it in, you start it up, you charge it. That's all you got to do. With a gas powered, you've got an engine on the back of here you're going to have to maintain. You got to keep gas in it. You might have to mix fuel for a 2-stroke, make sure the oil's in it, got to store it correctly. And when you're changing out the spool on the wire up there, it's a little more complicated. This is just a whole lot easier. It's way easier than gas. It stores easy, it's lightweight. I would recommend it to anybody that's got an average size yard. Alright, but enough talking about them. I'm gonna put it to the test over here. Did another video where I tested this bigger one on 3-foot grass, but this is probably about a foot right here, this patch. So I'll just attach it to both and you can kind of see how they work. It does pretty good. Not as well as gas, just because the power and the thickness of the line, but you can see both of them. One thing I forgot to mention is that the line feed right here is automatic, so you don't control it at all. It somehow knows how to extend itself. Alright, you can tell this one really struggles against this big stuff. Keep this one for small stuff around the house, but we're going to put it on the 13-inch now and see how this one does. Definitely way more power than the 13-inch. Took care of it all though, pretty easily. Back to regular height grass. There you go. If you're looking to save some money and to make your grass cutting a little bit easier, electric may be the way to go. If you give it a try, then good luck.